In Africa, the allure of travel is undeniable, as the various countries this wonderful continent hosts constantly beckon for exploration. But then again, how can we properly enjoy and be willing to explore if behind all this excitement, a less glamorous reality holds us back? Yes, I am speaking about the heavy taxation systems around the continent. Travelers are constantly cornered with a myriad of taxes that not only inflate the cost of their journeys, but also pose significant challenges to the growth and sustainability of the tourism industry. From departure levies to value-added taxes, the burden of taxation weighs heavily on both tourists and local businesses, shaping the progression of travel in Africa in profound ways. And so, in today's episode, we are going to go a bit deeper and try to understand the web of taxation policies and their impact on travel across the African continent. My name is Kachi aka Keiko, and this is Travel Essentials. Visa fees and airport levies can be such a hassle, and the taxation fees on them makes it even worse, with challenges from all sides weighing heavily on travelers. So let's look into some countries and how heavy taxation has really put a hitch into the traveling itch. Let's go. We start with Tanzania. In Tanzania, travelers encounter a significant fiscal burden in the form of departure taxes when leaving the country. These departure taxes apply to both domestic and international flights, adding a substantial expense to the overall cost of travel. For international travelers departing from Tanzania's major airports, such as the Julius Nyerere International Airport in Dar es Salaam or Kilimanjaro International Airport near Arusha, the departure tax can range from tens to hundreds of dollars per person, depending on the destination and the class of travel. This additional cost can significantly impact travel budgets, especially for budget-conscious travelers or those on extended journeys. Domestic travelers within Tanzania are not exempt from departure taxes either. Whether flying between cities like Dar es Salaam, Arusha, or even Zanzibar, passengers are subject to departure levies that contribute to the overall cost of air travel within the country. This additional expense can be particularly burdensome for Tanzanians traveling for business or leisure, as well as tourists exploring the country's diverse attractions. Next is Rwanda. In Rwanda, the government has implemented a tax on tourists visiting the country's national parks, including renowned sites like Volcano National Park, home to endangered mountain gorillas. This tourism tax aims to raise funds for conservation efforts and community development projects. For travelers, this tax adds to the overall cost of visiting Rwanda's natural attractions. Whether trekking to see the mountain gorillas, exploring the diverse ecosystems of Akagera National Park, or visiting the breathtaking landscapes of Nyungwe Forest, visitors must budget for this additional expense. While the intention behind the tourism tax is to support environmental conservation and, of course, local communities, its imposition can definitely deter budget-conscious travelers from visiting Rwanda's national parks. Next is Ghana. In Ghana, travelers using the country's roads encounter toll booths at various points along their journeys. These tolls are fees that drivers must pay to use certain roads, bridges, or tunnels, and they are collected by toll operators stationed at toll booths. The purpose of these road tolls is to generate revenue for the government, to finance the road maintenance, repairs, and infrastructure development projects. However, for travelers, these tolls represent an additional cost that must be factored into their travelers' expenses. Whether traveling by car, bus, or other modes of transportation, travelers in Ghana must budget for these toll fees, which can vary depending on factors such as the type of vehicle and, of course, the distance traveled. The frequent presence of toll booths along Ghana's roadways means that travelers encounter these regularly throughout their journeys, even more than once. While road tolls play a role in funding essential infrastructure projects, they can also contribute to the overall cost of travel for both domestic and international visitors exploring Ghana's diverse attractions, including historical sites, cultural landmarks, and of course, all their natural wonders. Now we'll take a very short break, but when we come back, we'll give a few more examples and of course a bit more insight into the taxation systems around Africa and of course possible solutions to some. Stick with us. Welcome back. You're still tuned on to Travel Essentials right here on KongaTV. Before the break, I used countries like Tanzania and Rwanda as prime examples of how the taxation systems in Africa are putting a strain to travel in the continent. And so, let's get back to some info. Let's go. Next is Uganda. In Uganda, travelers encounter an additional tax known as the value-added tax, aka VAT, on various goods and services, including accommodations and of course transportation. This means that when visitors book hotel stays or tour packages, they are subject to paying VAT on top of the quoted price. The application of VAT to these travel-related expenses increases the overall cost of travel for visitors exploring Uganda's diverse attractions. Whether tourists are planning to visit the majestic Mukisron Falls, the vibrant capital city of Kampala, or the picturesque landscapes of windy, impenetrable national park, they must account for these additional taxes in their travel budgets. For travelers, the imposition of VAT can be a significant financial consideration, especially for those on tighter budgets or planning longer stays in the country. While VAT serves as an important source of revenue for the Ugandan government, its application to travel-related expenses may, of course, deter some visitors or influence their spending decisions during their time in the country. And so, in response to the taxation challenges faced by travelers across Africa, governments can implement a comprehensive taxation reform strategy aimed at enhancing travel affordability, promoting tourism, and of course, stimulating economic growth. And of course, a holistic approach involves several key initiatives, of which I'll share with you some. First, harmonization of taxes. Governments can work collaboratively to harmonize taxes across borders and regions, minimizing inconsistencies and reducing the overall tax burden on travelers. By streamlining taxation processes and standardizing tax rates, countries can create a more predictable and conducive environment for travel and tourism. Next, transparency and accountability. Enhancing transparency and accountability in tax collection and utilization can build trust among travelers and, of course, stakeholders. Governments should ensure that tax revenues generated from the travel sector are reinvested into infrastructure development, tourism promotion, and community welfare, thereby maximizing the benefits for both visitors and local populations. Also, sustainable revenue generation. While taxation is essential for funding public services and infrastructure, governments should adopt a balanced approach to revenue generation that does not overly burden travelers. Alternative revenue sources such as innovative financing mechanisms, public-private partnerships, and tourism-related fees can supplement traditional taxation methods while minimizing the impact on travelers' wallets. And lastly, promotion of regional integration. Regional cooperation and integration efforts can play a very vital role in addressing taxation challenges by facilitating cross-border travel. By harmonizing visa policies, standardizing taxation regimes, and promoting cross-border tourism initiatives, countries can unlock the full potential of regional tourism markets and foster economic integration. From the heavy departure taxes in Tanzania to the value-added taxes in Uganda, travelers navigating Africa encounter a complex web of fiscal burdens that impact their travel expenses and all them budgets. However, these challenges are not insurmountable. And with strategic reforms and collaborative efforts, African countries can unlock the full potential of their tourism sectors and harness the economic benefits of travel fully. By harmonizing taxation policies and enhancing transparency and accountability, and of course investing in infrastructure and services, governments can create a more conducive environment for travel and tourism. Promoting regional integration, engaging stakeholders, and embracing all that sustainable development practices that are great and also essential steps towards realizing the vision of a vibrant and very inclusive tourism industry that benefits both visitors and local communities alike. As Africa continues to position itself as a premier travel destination on the global stage, addressing taxation challenges in the travel sector is not only the best opportunity to showcase the continent's rich cultural heritage, its natural wonders, and of course all that economic potential, but also to ensure that travel is accessible, affordable, and enriching for all. Remember to stay tuned to KongaTV for more exciting shows, but that's it from me for now. I remain Catchy, aka Keiko. Until next time.